I'm here, I'm live. I'm here and I'm live. I'm here and I'm live. Let me get my chair situated. Ooh, excuse me. Get my chair situated. I feel like I'm out of the frame. There we go. I was dealing with something else. Who these people on eBay? I want it till it comes time to spend the money. Then they decide they want to dispute after the stuff is on the way to their house. And they get it. I want my money back. Well, send my stuff back. Uh-huh. It is hump day. It's happy hump day. It's hump day. It's hump day. Y'all ready for Wednesday? It is Wednesday in the markets. We've made some money this week. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. My folks been making money. Hopefully y'all hanging out and y'all making money wherever you at. But we've made some money over in the E2T crew in the option seller zone. Yes, I sell on eBay too, child. Y'all know, anybody who know me know I be in all the places. But yes, I sell on eBay. What was that? I sell purses over on eBay. And I sold a vintage Coach bag on eBay. The person talked and talked back and forth, back and forth. Well, I should have changed my glasses. They don't match my shirt. Talked and talked over and talked, and I'm so excited to get the bag. And as soon as the transaction was complete and the bag was shipped, then they filed a dispute. Soon as the bag was on the way, they just filed a dispute saying it wasn't as described. And no, because see, what I don't understand, what I need to know is if eBay decides a dispute in their favor, how do I get my bag back? Because at this point, they still have the bag. So if eBay decides to give them their money back, what makes them send me my bag back? So maybe eBay doesn't, and I'm sure this is, eBay been around a long time. So I'm believing, and this is my belief, that eBay has it set, because I know for me, even when stuff is sent to the person, eBay won't give me my money. It doesn't release the money to the seller until the person has received the bag. And when they received it, eBay released me my money already. Yeah, you need to go and get those out, sis, because them Coach purses right now talk about a bag. Them Coach purses is a bag. But anyway, so I believe that if eBay won't release the money to the seller until the person has received it, then if the dispute was, given to them given back to them, if they were to win the dispute, I'm believing eBay won't release their money back to them until I receive my bag back. It's almost like with Amazon. If you send stuff back to Amazon will give you your money back, but they don't give you your money back until they've received their product back. Right? So I'm believing, eBay's been around long enough to know that people try to scam. So I'm gonna need my bag back, right? I'm gonna need my bag back. So and I'm fine with her sending my bag back. If you really, really feel, which it doesn't, this bag was like 1987 Coach bag. It's black. I got pictures. It's a really nice, it was like Saks Fifth Avenue bag. It still had the Coach and Saks Fifth Avenue paper inside. But this person who had it literally kept it in really good shape. And I bought it from a group from that What Night site I was telling y'all about, and then sold it. So on eBay. And so I wasn't trying to keep it. It's a very cute little shoulder bag, but I wasn't trying to keep it. And it's a nice leather. It was literally in pristine shape. The person who got it really need to quit tripping, to be honest. They got it for a really good deal. Anyway, the dispute is still going on. They received the bag. They've received it. And after they received it, they still continue all this. So either way, if you don't want it, that's fine. Just send it back, because I'll still put it right back up for sale and somebody else will buy it. So I'm not tripping over that. But I just don't get your money back and I don't get my bag back, because that's You can't please them all, and I'm all for that. But I'm gonna do my piece, which is provide the pictures that were provided to them originally, because they had all the pictures. I'll provide those same pictures in the process. And at this point, eBay has given me my money. So if they decide in their favor, they will basically deduct the money back from my account. But it's all well and good, because you can't please them all. You go, oh, I spent my first day, y'all. I'm trying to be on task. I spent my first day with my new trainer yesterday, and that worked out really good. I should have went with my new trainer before. I should have just changed over to the new trainer way back. I would have saved myself all the hassles. And it was a good connect. I believe it's gonna be good with my new trainer. It felt very, very natural. Anyway, this is where SPX is right now this morning. Good morning, all. Good morning, everybody. I think I see some folks who joined us while we were talking. My Day Littlefield, good morning. Good morning, Janae. Janae said you can't please them all, and she right. Denise, I see you. Good morning, girlfriend. Tanya, you're going to go pull them coach purses out, girlfriend. And especially if you're not using them, you need to put them on a site, eBay, Poshmark, somewhere, put them on Marketplace to sell, because the coach purses is definitely being sold, especially if they're leather. Actually, don't have to be leather, because the coach purses, that the poppies and the vintage, anything that's got vintage on it right now is something to be sold. Hey, Julie. Hey, Toki. Good morning. And hey, Tanya. I already said hey to Tanya. I think I got everybody. Oh, Brink Zone. Hey. Yeah. All righty. So let's go here. SPX is at 63.10. We closed at what? 63. What did we close at yesterday? Let me look real quick. We closed at 62.99. So we're about 10 points higher than SPX closed yesterday. Back above 6,300, closed at 62.99. Again, yesterday made a few dollars. Notice on the 15-minute chart, all of the EMAs are bunched up here together. Y'all see that? All these EMAs are here, and it looks like they're splitting, going downwards again. They've all come back together. I have the 9, the 20, the 100, and the 200, and they're all here together. Y'all can see my mouse, I believe, all over here together, and they're splitting, going back downwards again. They've come back together, and then now they're splitting up. So yeah, that's a thing. This is the 15-minute chart. Of course, we can look at other charts and see what's going on with that. Let's move on to see what is on tap for today. Now that I've caught y'all up with Arlissa's lifestyle and the lifestyle commentary, let's get on to the stock market. Disney announces ESPN NFL deal. Let me move the microphone in place so we can actually hear without me feeling like I'm screaming, which I'm not. I just have a very strong voice. Y'all already know this, right? Disney announces ESPN NFL deal as parks and streaming drive beats. Yeah, okay. But shares were weighed down by steep declines in the company's linear television business. Novo reports Q2 earnings missing estimates on slower GLP-1 sales. Yeah, that whole GLP-1 thing, I know that a lot of insurances don't necessarily cover the GLP-1, but people paying for it, but at them prices. Uber bets on loyalty program, unveils $20 billion buyback plan. Uber loyalty program? I don't think I know about that. NFL to take 10% stake in ESPN in the deal with Disney. Shopify jumps on the Q2 revenue forecast boosted by AI upgrades. All right, Shopify. China pushes back on U.S. amid ongoing trade tensions. No shock there. Berkshire shares tumble as Buffett prepares to step down. I knew that was going to happen. AI and GLP-1s were hot post-pandemic trades, but only one is thriving. McDonald's stock rises after company reverses U.S. sales slump. McDonald's got their brains back into order when they started to adjust them price points. They was like, okay, the people who eat McDonald's aren't really trying to pay, Five Guys prices. We're really not. McDonald's is supposed to be the low cost contributor. They're not supposed to be going to McDonald's and dropping a bag on burgers. That's not the way that's supposed to go. Right? U.S. stock futures climb as earnings take center stage. What else? Anything over here? Anything else over here going on? Not really. Okay. That's Yahoo Finance. Let's move to CNBC. Dow, all the futures are up. Oil is green. U.S. 10-year bonds. We make this a little bit bigger. Stock futures rise as investors parse earnings reports. Okay. Disney is the thing. Disney earnings, top expectations at streaming. You know, y'all know I live right here in Florida, and I don't think I've been to Disney since I was a child. I've been out to like Disney Springs, the place where you can walk around for free. But to go into Disney at $200 a ticket, I'm a pass. I do like Islands of Adventure though, because I'm more of a thrill seeker. Hence why I'm in the stock market, because I like thrill seeking. But to go into Disney, there are people who have like season passes and go multiple times through the year. No, not me. It's not that I don't think it's for some people. It's just not for me. ESPN flagship streaming service to launch August 21st. Disney's ESPN to acquire NFL media assets in a major deal. Talk about Uber and McDonald's. The top five, or come on, run it one more time. It was running across the top. Here we go. Stocks making the biggest moves. Come on, ticker. Move faster. McDonald's, Snap, Supermicro, SMCI, and Walt Disney. Okay, those are the ones that are making the biggest move in the pre-market. Let's see what's happening in Europe. Europe is mostly green except for stocks 600. European pharma stocks lose ground after Trump threatens 250% tariffs. That's just definitely a threat. Okay, Asia chip stocks fall after Trump says semiconductor tariffs will be announced soon. Yes, semis, I've kind of expected semi tariffs to be coming, but to what level, we'll see. Nifty 50 is red. Everything else over in Asia is green. Crypto, everything's green over there. Bitcoin is at 114,000. Ethereum 35.93. Solana 163. Dogecoin 19.99. 19.99. XRP 294. Okay, let's see what's on the calendar today. Wednesday, crude oil inventories at 10:30, probably really more orange. 10-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Well, we hadn't heard any news on chips tariffs, but keep watching because I'm thinking that's definitely coming. 1 o'clock on 10-year bond auction is important because that, even though it says yellow here, it's going to be more than yellow. That 10-year bond auction is one that's important. It always causes a little bit of a stir at 1 o'clock, okay? FOMC member Collins will speak, and Cook will speak at 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock Daly will speak, okay? 1 o'clock is something to concern yourself with. Looking at investing.com, they have notice crude oil inventories here. They got it with 3 stars, which lets you know it's not a yellow folder. All right, 3 stars. Cushing crude oil inventories is 2 stars. 10-year note auction is also 3 stars. I said that at 1 o'clock. All right, so those 2 things, crude oil at 10:30, 10-year note auction at 1 o'clock. Excuse me. Let's check Instagram for earnings. Earnings this morning. Well, we can look first at, yesterday afternoon, we had AMD, SMCI, Arista, Snap, Upstart. Those were all Rivian. Those were all yesterday. Open Door after market closed yesterday. This morning, though, we had Uber, Shopify, Oscar. Oscar wasn't mentioned on any of the headlines, but it's one people been watching in the pharmaceutical space. Novo, Walt Disney, Six Flags, I didn't even know was still trying to be flagging. McDonald's is here. After market closes today, we're going to have Duolingo. Elf will report today. DraftKings. Those are kind of the big ones I would see. And then tomorrow morning before open, you got Eli Lilly, Celsius, ConocoPhillips, Hut 8, which I believe is in the crypto space, Peloton. All right. That's what's coming up as far as earnings go. Before I switch over to the charts, I want to mention E2T University. E2T University, you need to join the wait list, but it's going to be opening up on August the 18th. We're going to open up for payments. And I was thinking yesterday about what is a good amount for me to handle as far as a student load. So there will be a select number of slots. I'm not opening it up to, just everybody join who wants to come in. It's not. There will be. And I'm not just saying that. Sometimes people say limited number of, people say that. I'm not just saying that because I don't play those games, to be honest, because I think those are just marketing games and I'm not really into that kind of stuff. But there will be a limited number of spots because there's only so much that I'm going to be able to handle. And I want to be sure to give the people who sign up for E2T University, I want to be able to give them what they need, because my plan is that the people who sign up for E2T University, if they really lean into what E2T University, what I'm intending it to be and what it will be, not intending it, it's what it will be, is I'm going to take you from, if you're a beginning person, I'm going to take you from beginning all the way to being able to trade with us on a daily basis. And I'm going to walk with you hand in hand while you get from not knowing, while you get from a beginner up to somebody who can trade with us on a daily basis. And that kind of engagement is going to take energy from me. It's going to take energy from you, but it's going to take resources. So I can't do that with a bunch of people. All right. So those who are signing up need to know they're serious and know I'm serious. So it's going to be a limited number of spots. We're going to turn your trading into a skill that serves your freedom. I made a post yesterday, not sure if for those of you who follow me on social media, I made a post yesterday about there's 4 types of freedom. There's time freedom. And I want to make sure I include the things I said yesterday, because it was a really good post about the 4 types of freedom. Let me go see it, because I think it was there we go. It's there's time freedom, there's financial freedom, there's mental freedom, and there's purpose freedom. Time freedom, financial freedom, mental freedom, and purpose. I might have to put this into our Telegram group. But sometimes you got time freedom. You want to trade. I'm going to say this stuff. You want to trade when you want and not without screen addiction. No burnout. Financial freedom is where you build income from the skill without guesswork or hustle. Mental freedom is you trade without emotion, chaos, or decision fatigue. That's where your mind is free. And then purpose freedom, you let trading support your bigger vision and not become the only vision. Because I know along the way, trading can become all we see. I know for me, for a long time, I fell asleep and woke up thinking about trading, period. And some of us, you are still there, where we go to sleep thinking about it, we wake up thinking about it. And I think while we're on the way to where we want to be, that's the way it has to be, because it needs to consume you to the point that you're learning. All right. So we are learning. When I say you, believe me, I'm including us. I'm not saying just you, I'm saying us. But we want time freedom, financial freedom, mental freedom, and purpose freedom. And those are the 4 types of trader freedom that we're looking for. We can get that. E2T University is 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks. The first 3 weeks, we're going to be talking about charts and basic indicators, basic things about trading. You're basically like a freshman in college. What is trading? Second 3 weeks, we're going from strategy. We're going from guessing to getting us a game plan. We're getting some core strategies, simple indicators to follow, not a lot of stuff to look at, because you don't know enough to look at a lot of stuff. How do you put yourself a personal training plan together, and how do you prep for your trading? Third week, we're adding on credit spreads, which is our primary trading strategy that we use is credit spreads. But how do you use risk management to make sure that you don't burn through your money? All right. How do you scale those systems? How do you add SPX? And then in the fourth 3 weeks, how are you trading those? How are you auditing and optimizing your systems to make sure that you're setting up for long term? And how are you now implementing and trading all that? And that's what we're going to do. Okay. I know we got people who want this, and it's what most people start off with the trading journey with the money in mind. I want the money. Yeah, we all do, and we all did. We start off wanting the money, but then we don't consider the part of the process that includes the sitting down and the learning piece. Most people don't take that part into consideration. You don't take that part into consideration. When they say before anybody who starts to build a house has to count the cost. Most people don't count the cost first. We just want the house. We don't think about what it's going to take to get it built. All right, let's go talk about Adam. E2T University. If you want to go ahead and join that, let me grab the link so I can give you that in the comments. There we go. E2T University. It's in the link. It's a link in the comments if you want to click on it and join the wait list. There's a bunch of people on it. So if you're not on it already, make sure that you go ahead and get on the wait list. There's a bunch of people on it. Okay. Adam says we got a perfect failed breakdown at 6:20 p.m. in SPX as per 4 p.m. newsletter. Setup was a failed breakdown of yesterday's 62.88 daily low. We flushed it, reclaimed. Long trigger ran 42 points to 63.34 target. The plan, the work is done. Just hold your runner. 63.06 is the magnet. Let me go back to the chart. So when I flip back to this screen, we'll be there. 63.06 equals the magnet. 63.14, 63.25, 63.34 is above, and we dip under that. The gap between ES and SPX is 27 points. So if you're watching Adam's tweets, the gap between those two, between his numbers and SPX, is 27 points. For those trading XSP, the range is from 628 to 634. That's the range. That is the range for those who are trading XSP. There we go. I'm going to put that right in there. Now that I didn't mean to put in there. Lord, what are we doing? What are we doing? Delete for everyone. Delete for everyone. There we go. I put what I wanted there. All right. So those are the Adams numbers. Put these numbers on your chart, right? 62.88 was the daily low. 63.34 is your target. 63.06 is the magnet or your support area. 63.14, 63.25, 63.34 is above. Right now, yesterday we did get up to, I'm gonna switch back to my chart now that y'all got your numbers up there. Let's switch back to my chart. 63.34. Let me make it bigger. This was yesterday. Well, SPX 500 now shows us through the night because this is SPX 500. Looks like we got right up here, 63.32. Got right up there to it. What else did he say was the numbers? Let me get this picture. 63.06. It's like there's a 63.05 right there. I'm putting it onto the chart. 63.14 right in here. 63.25. Yep, right in there. And 63.34 is the other one. Those are the places. And you can see, even in the chart, you can see where these places that he mentions are places where you've got support and resistance. Right in here. I also see something right in here in 63.21. See something right in there too. Another little bitty bit right in 63.10. All right, Adam. Listen, Adam always puts out these numbers. If those who are really serious about ES and trading SPX, he puts out a newsletter every day. It's got lots of stuff in it. I mean, he's verbose. It's very, very involved, but it's very, very worth it. I mean, he gets intense with it. It's worth every dollar that he asks you to pay for it because it's not cheap. But it's good information for those who are really like a lot of data, a lot of information. Is definitely that. All right. He has a newsletter, but he also tweets throughout the day. And if all you want is numbers, his tweets will get you there. You got to make your own conversions though, unless you're trading ES. If you're trading ES, his numbers are right on because here's what he trades. But if you're trading SPX, you got to convert your own numbers. All right. That's SPX 500. Let's move to SPY. see what the indices are doing in the pre-market. See what the indices are doing. Yesterday, SPY closed at 627.18. Looks like it gapped up to 631 in the pre-market this morning, and it has closed some of that gap. It is currently at 629.46. Also, the moving averages have all moved, are all kind of clustered together with the 200 period moving average on the top, which in itself, if you are a moving average watcher, which everybody probably should be, they do give a lot of information. This still is kind of a bearish sign. They are all together though, so they could kind of go out, but the 200 is on the top. 200 being on the top means that, and the price is below it at this point, means it is kind of in the bearish. I went to a higher time frame, 30-minute time frame. All the moving averages are stacked going, from high to low, which means this is a bearish little setup. If we go to the 1 hour chart, same thing, except for the 9-period moving average is on the top here in the 1 hour time frame. So there's that. That's on SPY. That is on SPY. But on the 15-minute time frame, they're clustered together, except for the 100 is on the top, which is a bit of a bearish setup. Okay, let's look at triple Q. Looks very similar. Moving averages are not clustered together as much, but the 200 is on top. The others are all again stacked. That actually was the 100. That green one is the 100, not the 9. Yeah, that green is the 100. I said on the SPY that it was the 9. It's the 100. I need to make sure I have my I usually put them in a type of order that helps me to remember. I do like light color going towards the dark colors. That way I keep track of, I don't have to try to remind myself of what is what. Let me fix that right now. While sorry that y'all have to get me to fix it while we're here, but you know what? No time like the present. No time like the present. I usually I'm gonna fix that now. I mean, I gotta think about it, and I won't think about it while I'm on the call with y'all. But green usually goes for, I go in the order of the color. Red, yellow, green. I go in the order of the color chart. That way I can remember. Okay. Triple Q closed yesterday at 558.29 or somewhere around that area, 558.27, and it is currently at 561. So it is up about 3 points, $3 from where it closed yesterday. It gapped up to about 562, closed some of that gap, went back up a bit, but it still has a gap up open. We're about 27 minutes from the open right now. IWM did some serious moving yesterday. IWM was moving like everything else was yesterday, I guess. It's like, you ain't gonna leave me behind. IWM did its good moving yesterday. It did the upward move like everything else did yesterday, then dropped off, fell down to 218.24, did a reversal, ran right back up pretty much to where it started, and closed in the same range almost of where it was the high of yesterday. It closed right around the top of the opening range. So it consolidated in that range, gapped up, pre-market gap up to 221.76, ran up as high as 222.58. And then it's currently at 221.04. We haven't talked about it in a while, but our 6 lines, pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day high, previous day low, previous day open, previous open and close. What we got, our 6 lines. That's still something we need to make sure that we're putting on. We hadn't talked about it in a while, but those lines still matter. What we got? Pre-market open, pre-market close. Let's go find our 6 lines. Let me put in a little quick search right here so I can find our 6 lines. Ooh, blue line. Mark your 6 lines. There we go. Pushing it back to the bottom so we all will remember. Do you remember? Mark your 6 lines. Previous day high, previous day low, previous day open, previous day close, opening range high, opening range low. Those 6 lines still provide what is called structure. We get some structure. I've been learning some terminology, even though I always heard people talk about structure. And I was like, well, they talk about structure. What is structure? And I was thinking it was something different. Turns out structure is the stuff we already know, these things I just mentioned, and support, resistance, gaps. Those are all structure things. I didn't know it was being called structure. I was thinking it was people were talking about something different, but these are the things that provide structure. Hey, who knew? I didn't know. They gave it some new terminology and I was left in the dust. Y'all see all my lines? Do not hate on all my lines because these lines get it done during the day, right? These lines get it done. I'm telling y'all, don't hate on my lines. I'm the one who be hating on all these lines because it's a bunch of them. I'm like, there's too many lines. I can't watch all these lines, but I need all these lines. I need all these lines, Lord. Yes. Okay. So anyway, this is SPX from yesterday. Opened yesterday. I actually moved my opening range because we look at the opening range for the 15-minute chart and the opening range for the 1 hour. And it broke out of the 1 hour a little bit going down, and then it turned right on back around. It turned right on back around, came back into the zone, and then dropped back out again. For the fib watchers, those who are fib watchers, got the high to the low. Price went right back up into what they call the golden pocket, pulled right back up into almost to the 61.8 and dropped right back down. So it pulled down, it went up, pulled down to the low, pulled back up into the golden pocket, 61.8, and then dropped some more. And plus, if you look here, you see that there's this 200 period moving average. 200 period moving average is here. That black line, that's what that is, that 200 period moving average. Listen, all these things work together as confluences. When you're worried about how far is it going to go, is it going to really pull back? This green is the 100 period moving average, and this black is the 200 period moving average. Between those two things, those are support and resistance areas. And if I turn on pivots, pivot points, come on, where my pivots at? They're not popping up. Actually, there's one right here. 6320 is also a pivot point, which is right here. 6320 is a pivot. It got right to that pivot and turned around. When you put on some different things that help give you some confluences and let you know, and I bet if I turn on my VWAP, VWAP was down in a little bit lower than that. You get enough things there to look at, let you know whether it's going to do its thing. What is it going to do? Is it going to keep moving? Is it going to turn back? Because sometimes we get nervous. It actually went up to 63.22. And I know we had 63.25 yesterday. And we was like, I know some of us got a little nervous. Anytime you've been breached a time or two in a credit spread, when it started coming towards your strike, you're like, what in the world? No. But this moving average was at 63.25 and we had 63.25. And for me, I was like, okay, that moving average is going to hold it. The 200 period, listen, the 200 period moving average is going to hold it when nothing else will hold it. Okay. If it gets past the 100, which is what this green line is, if it gets past the 100, pretty much the 100 will hold it too. You give it a few. These moving averages, notice they're responsive. It might take a little bit of time because these are not concrete lines. They're more like trampoline lines. So they got a little bit of space and then it's going to bounce back like a trampoline, right? But if these don't hold it, that 200 period going to hold it. That means this is 200 periods of information that has been compiled together. That's a strong area of support or resistance. If it breaks through the 9, the 20, the 9, the 50, if it breaks through these others, or the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200, that's what these are. This is the 20, this is the 50, this is the 100. I think the blue is the 50 actually. Anyway, I got to fix my things so I can make sure I remember, because I think my blue is always the 50. Yeah, blue is always the 50. The 50, the 20, the 100. If it gets through those three, that 200, it's going to do its good work. All right. Hey, Selena, it's going to do its good work. So you need to just know that if it nothing else holds it, that 200, it's going to see right here. It might have bounced up a little bit, but notice how it came right back off it. It went in like a little this actually gapped up over it. This was a gap up over that 200 period moving average, but you notice it didn't stay up there. That 200 was like, where you going, bruh? Where you going? Not up in here. Not up in here, player. That's what that's what that 200 period moving average says. Not up in here, player. Get up out of here. Anyway, that's what SPX did yesterday. All right. Ran up a little bit, hit that 63.46 opening range high. Came on. Well, that's why I put on afterwards, basically. But I let that 63.39 is where it reversed a nice little tweezer. The price might have went up there, but it didn't stay up there. I probably should put a line on here, let us know that 63.40 was really as far as it went. And then it fell off hard. Fell off hard after that. What are the pivots? I don't see them for today. I need to refresh because it's not showing them. It's not showing them today. I'll put them on. When I refresh this screen, I see one here at 63.10. I see a pivot at 63.10 for today. 63.10 is the pivot. I see. Oh, that's yesterday's though. Once today starts, Janae, the pivots will show up. All right, so there's that. Let me move back to where I'm going. Add to the stage. Okay, so everything we talk about is credit spreads. When I'm talking to you about the stuff that we do in my community, it's credit spreads. And if you want to like get yourself up and ready to come on and join us, trade in our 0 DTEs, credit spreads is what you'll need. If you want to join our SPX, my option seller zone membership, that's what we use every day is credit spreads. And maybe you know a little bit about credit spreads or you know about options, but you want to get better. The credit spreads masterclass is where you need to, hone up your skills. Yesterday, we had lots of good profits in the membership. I personally made $955 yesterday in profits. That's what my own personal profits yesterday. But I had people who are trading with us who also made profits yesterday, and we trade together in the membership. I'm there. I do some trade alerts, but there are people who are choosing trades for themselves along with the alerts. They're not just waiting on me to call out trades. That's a fine strategy because people do. That's what they pay for. But they also are finding trades for themselves. We have other vehicles that they can use. We got a criteria for when do we enter these trades. And what do we do? But you can go over to Educator to Trader, get the credit spreads masterclass, and get yourself up and ready to trade along with us if you'd like to do that. Okay, there's that. I think we're at the place where we can land the plane. We've covered all the things. I don't think I actually mentioned the membership, but I can. Oh, there we go. Let's mention the membership before we go on. Option Seller Zone membership. We do group trading. We use a selling strategy of credit spreads. Like I said, we have trade alerts. We do a Sunday charting and training session. We don't do the first Saturday coaching calls because I really train every Sunday. We do SPX and XSP. We have one-on-one session. Everybody gets one every quarter. A private Telegram group, and we do Zoom calls. Usually we do some, live trading together. We haven't done it this week. We have to decide when we go. I do them when we need to do them. But I'm there. Even if we don't do a Zoom call, it's not that I'm not available for us to make sure that we're really like trading together, because we really are. Even if it's chat-based, we're there. All right. So there's that. If you want to join us in the membership, you're free to do so. You can go over to Educator to Trader and join the membership if you'd like, or you can go to the website that kind of talks more about it, e2t.trading. What is going on inside of my throat? Okay, now we're ready to land the plane. There we go. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses and my accounts growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. This is what one of these lines is really what led to us having a like trade entry criteria where I don't randomly place trades. We don't just decide, oh, I got a few minutes, let me jump into something. We've got criteria for when we enter our trades. We got criteria. There's 4 or 5 things that we use as entry criteria. And if something we're looking at doesn't match that criteria, guess what? We don't enter. I'm not entering because I'm bored or I got a few minutes. You're not doing it that. If it don't meet the criteria, you're not entering the trade. All right. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. All right. Okay, everybody. We're about 15 minutes from the market opening. You got about 15 minutes. So you can go ahead and get your coffee, right? You can go ahead and get yourself ready. Generally, we don't trade the open unless you're closing something. You can maybe close some stuff if that's what you're doing, but we don't generally trade the open. I will close some credit spreads if I have some running. I will do that, but generally I don't trade the open. All right, unless I'm trading as a buyer, which I don't really do a whole lot of buying either. Okay, so but we watch, even though we may not be trading the open, doesn't mean we don't watch the open. After the first 15 minutes, we do mark our opening range because we use that information to place trades. That's one of our trade entry criteria, is after we do our opening range, we do use that as entry criteria. Generally, I don't really look to enter anything till after 10 o'clock. And remember, based on our calendar, at 10, is it 10 this morning? We have what's happening at 10? Is it 10 or 10:30? We have something coming up this morning, the crude oil inventory at 10:30. Crude oil inventory at 10:30. So we keep that in mind. All right. And at 1 o'clock, we have the 10-year bond auction. All righty, righty. All righty. Okay, everybody, we're going to do 3 things today. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money, and we're going to have a great green day. All right. I will see you in the market. And for those of you who are in my community, I will see you in the chat. All righty. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.